is we get a lot of speculation around this time, a lot of rumors around this time. And one of the biggest rumors that came out over this weekend was Brian Robinson. There was a couple different reports that came out. There was some that he's on a chopping block as far as if they can't trade him, they're about to cut him. There's the trade rumors now that he's being shopped around. And in that same time, there's also the rumors that there might be a new RB1 in Washington, the name you've dropped on this show before, Jacory Croskey Merritt, also known as Bill. I don't know what we're going to call him. JCM, we're going to call him Bill. I don't know.
I'm calling him Kill Bill. I'm calling him Kill Bill. That boy is
better than Bill Croskey, because I think that might be what people was talking about.
Yeah, look, I don't think some folks got to chill on that. Some folks can't be throwing that Bill out there.
Hey, he called it, you know what? He actually said the nickname was Lil Bill. That's where because he looked like Lil Bill back in the day.
Big ass head as a kid, man. You know our folks, bro. We gonna get the nicknames of what we don't look like, but come on, man.
Bill, I get Nick Chubb all the time. I get Nick Chubb, Paul George. I got Kanye.
Yo, they was calling me Chris Jones in the comments on YouTube, bro, and then I started to see it. What?
Right, yo, you low-key do look like Chris Jones, bro.
Hey, yo, stop. I'm gonna call you other cuz. What's his name? Damn it. Damn, it's the basketball player. You look just like cuz.
No, they say Paul George. I'd be like, bro, what's how? Like, I don't even see it, bro.
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson, chill with the Steven Jackson, bro. I don't want to be associated with that. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But speaking of Lil Bill, Kill Bill, Jacory Croskey Merritt, man, had a good showing this last weekend, week 2. Yeah. And, obviously got the touchdown in there, which is what everybody wants to see in preseason, who's scoring the touchdowns. But more importantly, his role on this team, it's expected to expand. He's a 7th-round pick, but the team doesn't really have a clear number 1. Now, if Brian Robinson is traded, we talk about speculation, rumors, that deal still has to happen. He still has to be off the roster. We've seen things happen in the past where it doesn't always work out like that. If Brian Robinson is traded and say it's not for another running back, how do you feel about JCM, Kill Bill, whatever you want to call him?
I feel like now the hype is high. But the thing is, all of August, we've heard nothing but good reports from him. We've seen the highlights, the training camp highlights of him carving up defenses. I do think, I do want to tell the fantasy streets, do not get too bullish, though, because Austin Ekeler is still there. That's a living, breathing guy. But the fantasy streets was on me the other day, just. Monday night, you have Chris Rodriguez. He is also on that backfield of that roster on the depth chart. But the problem with it is that we hear the revolution of Chris Rodriguez against JCM as if JCM's a bad back. That happened overnight. So what are we talking about? This dude has been with the team for the last 2 years, right? And everybody's like, oh, he has 5.0 yards per carry. And they still released him. Listen, folks need to chill out, man, because listen, in the first preseason game, JCM started. He got the first touches. They saw last week, they saw that Chris Rodriguez started. Okay, they want to see what they have in him. All of August has been nothing but JCM. Folks, look at the tea leaves. Now, just this ain't a flex. This ain't nothing, right? 2 weeks ago, I text Ron Rivera, right? Okay. I was like, hey, the unofficial depth charts, what is this, man? Is the media just hyping this up? He texted me back. He's like, yeah, it's just sometimes it's a motivational piece, it's just to throw the media off. It's one of those things where it's like, stop taking the unofficial depth chart so seriously. Because folks bringing that up with Chris Rodriguez listed ahead of JCM. Of course, he's a rookie. They want these guys to earn and work for their spot. That's all it is.
Well, the thing is, and to even hear that, it seems like this thing is pretty fluid. That's what I get out of this, because you have 5 running backs on the roster. You probably don't want to just flat out cut one of your young guys. Obviously, they like Chris Rodriguez. He got the start, and I know, you mentioned how JCM's been playing, but he got the nominal start this weekend, right? Maybe you're making the guy work for it. JCM is there. You also have Austin Ekeler, and you also have a back who played pretty well last year, a forgotten back, in Jeremy McNichols. He's owned a spot. Last year, he played really well in spot starts. So now you have this 5-headed running back room with Brian Robinson. I can see why, especially if the cost is high and you're trying to get Terry paid, why you might have to get Brian Robinson out of there. But for me, I look at it as, I don't know that JCM just comes in and takes over the starting running back room. And even if he does, he's not a PPR guy. He's going to be a touchdown-dependent player, which I don't mind. But when you got Chris Rodriguez, who it looks like they're going to spell in there, you have Austin Ekeler, who is really 2 years removed from being the starter of the Los Angeles Chargers. He was a starting caliber back until his injury. So you have Ekeler, you have Chris Rodriguez, you have Jeremy McNichols. This looks like a complicated backfield. And the one thing that I'm seeing that I absolutely am against is that you can take out Brian Robinson and put JCM in there, and they're the same player, and you're getting an RB2. I don't agree with that at all.
No, I definitely agree with you on that aspect. Like, folks do not need to go and reach in the first 100 picks for a JCM. Hear when I say this. He will be on your roster strictly as a RB5. If you have a deep bench and you could throw on there, again, if your bench is 7 or less, I'm not attacking anybody in this backfield, okay? Because it is fluid. It's understanding what's going to happen most weeks rather than not. You know what I mean? It's going to be a headache trying to figure out, is it JCM? Is it Austin Ekeler? But in the sense, I do want a piece of this backfield just based on the talent if I have the deeper bench. If he's going in like the 13th, 14th round, 15th round, cool. That's fine with me. I'll take that dart throw. I'll take that shot because at this point, I'm just trying to fill a roster. You know what I mean? So, like,
don't his ADP climbing, bro.
Boy, tell the streets to chill.
It's climbing. You know, I think let's do this real quick. So you mentioned you want to have a part of this backfield. If you had to rank this backfield, pretend that Brian Robinson gets moved and it's not for another running back. I'm assuming there's no way they bring in another back. If they're trading are going to cut him. Say he gets cut or traded. How would you rank this backfield? I'll go first. I got Austin Ekeler, number 1. I'll take JCM, number 2. Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols are tied for a slightly distant 3. That's how I got the running back room.
Exactly. I have it exactly that way. And I think Austin Ekeler's overlooked being that he averaged like 12 fantasy points per game last season. That's a solid flex. And he's going way cheaper than all the names we named after him, which is even insane.
The second half of the year, Ekeler was playing really well, bro.
Bro, his yards per carry is very positive. Like when we look at Ekeler, we always remember the injured one coming out of Los Angeles. But I think he's found a home where he has his role secured and safe. And in most of the leagues, we're in PPR leagues, folks. I mean, look, he's a guy that you can literally throw in the flex. He's going to give you 10 to 12 fantasy points, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think Eckler's the one I'd rather have. And I think it's more so the floor play. Like, obviously, JCM has a little bit more upside if he can get those touchdowns and secures a starting role. But I think first crack at it's going to go to Ekeler. So I think it's an interesting conversation because there's so many that just want to hype up the new name, and then that's where the value is, and we chase that. I've seen him go as like high as top 75 in drafts, which is absolutely wild to me, Brad.
Bro, that's top 75 is like the 7th, 6th round.
He's going there right now. RB2 land, he's going there right now. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Look, you know what? Go ahead. Take him off the board in the 6th, 7th round, and I'm going to sloop in and get the actual players that I want because, God, wow.
It's bad, man.